Hey guys, so we are out in the greenhouse today. It is currently 54 degrees. Our low the other day was 26 and our high was 108. Today I have got a ton of stuff I have to pot up. So I have this tray of my paste tomatoes, which is getting its second set of leaves. I'm going to pot those up and separate a bunch of them. A lot of them have two per cell. So we're going to pot those up. So a couple of videos ago, I planted some herbs and I planted Italian basil. It has been several weeks and zero germination. This is purple basil and Thai basil. As you can see, only one cell germinated. And this is not the first time I've had this problem. I have also had trouble with their peppers, which means none of my cayenne and none of my poblano peppers have popped up. And I've tried to start 3 different 6-packs of those at different times. None of them have grown. So I'm actually going to get those at my local greenhouse. A lot of the things that I've planted, I don't really worry about because, again, I can get them at my local greenhouse. This is the company, it's Organo Republic. And if you've seen the other videos, you know that they sell bulk seed packs. So you can't just buy individual seed packs. You buy a big pack of seeds. It comes with a ton of seeds. And like I said, some of them germinate wonderfully. My onions did good. My beets did good. Let me see, what else have I planted from them? All of my greens from them have done really great. I will say that my spinach is about a 50% germination rate compared to the lettuces. My red beefsteak tomatoes, those are about a 75%. And again, these are from the same company. Not a bad company. I may have just gotten a fluke package. Like I said, they sent these seeds last year. I keep them with all my other seeds. Usually things like tomatoes, peppers, and stuff like that, you can get 3 to 5 years out of them. Bigger seeds like pumpkin, squash, and stuff like that, you may even get longer. Watermelon. Some seeds that don't do very good and don't last very long are things like onions. Onions, you want to get planted the year that you purchase them. You might get a second year out of them where you might get 75, 50% germination rate. But as you can see from this box, a lot of the seeds that I have planted from them, these are the cayenne. Again, none of these have germinated. I might try one more time. Sweet Bell Blend, these are the California Wonder. I got, I think, 4 of these out of the 4 6-packs that I planted. The jalapenos did okay. The poblanos, I did not get any of those. But again, I planted peppers from other companies like Botanical Interest. Those did amazing. My Scotch bonnets, I'm actually going to be planting those up today. Those did really great as well. The beets did okay. The beefsteak tomatoes did okay. I've got a bunch of other ones in here. Like I said, lettuces did really good. I've got some other stuff that I got to sow later this year, like cucumbers, pumpkins and things like that. Some butternut squash. So I will keep you guys updated as I continue to use seeds from this company. I'm just letting you know as we go along how each of these companies works for me. I noticed somebody had posted on Facebook that their Baker Creek seeds that were flower seeds did not do very good. I planted their carnations or delphinium and their snapdragons this year, and I think they did amazing. Again, they were specifically talking about flowers, and those were the only 2 flowers that I had planted from them. But like I said, they did really great. My Botanical Interest seeds have done really good. Another one I wanted to share with you guys is actually from a giveaway that I won the other day. And this company is local to me. They are from North Carolina, and it is Kids Seed Co. But I want to give away, and I will put it up on the screen so you can see it. It was for any of their tomato seeds. I think they picked 3 winners, and I just happened to win. So I'm going to be trying this variety. I've never grown this before. This is a Black Beauty tomato, and you can see they send cute little pictures. And then the seeds are in a smaller pack in here, and I got quite a few seeds. I was very surprised, especially from a giveaway on Instagram. So I'm excited to try these. I'll probably start a couple of these today. Like I said, I have a lot of things that I have to pot up. I've started planting stuff out in the garden. I planted out a bunch of the snapdragons the other day. Let me go show you guys that. The snapdragons are doing amazing. My peas are coming up now. You can see one right there. Got another one in this 6-pack. But they just started popping up today. I checked them yesterday and they weren't popping up. So I can see about 5 or 6 throughout the 6 packs in the pots that I planted. Let's head outside real quick before I start potting stuff up. If you guys remember a couple videos ago, I said that I was going to cover the stuff that I had planted out here. The kale, the Swiss chard, the bok choy. And as you can see right here, I did not. And the birds have gone and snacked on it. And they pull the leaves off. And I leave them because sometimes they do come back. There's my Swiss chard. You can see that they've just been snacking on it. But I'm going to leave it. I don't know as I have any other covers because I've been using the covers for some of my other beds. I cannot get over how beautiful these tulips are. If you missed my other video, these tulips are from Holland Bulb Company and every single one of them has popped up. I am super excited. They're beautiful. If I can find a picture, I'll put that up on the screen as well. And then in between, I interplanted delphinium that I found at Walmart this past weekend. So I'm hoping that we'll have blooms in front of the greenhouse for a very long time this year. This rose is doing great. Same with this bok choy that I planted out. Everything looks good. The kale, Swiss chard. I did put celery seeds back here. I direct sowed them. It's only been a couple days. I don't see anything popping up, but I've been careful to keep watering. I did put some of those seeds over here as well next to this kale. I think that this rose may be dead. I pulled some of the wax off the other day. I noticed that this one is very brown, and I want to say it was green when I purchased it. And then I noticed that this is yellowing. You can kind of tell sometimes if you go to one of the green stalks and you push, oh yeah, and you push on the thorns. If they pop right off like that super easy, it usually means that they're not good. So I might dig that up and take it back to Lowe's and see if I can get a new one. I mulched all the way around the garlic. I started a new row over there that has cabbage and onions. The garlic all looks really good. Super thick and healthy. I am going to pull up most of these shavings here shortly and fertilize it really good. Garlic is a heavy feeder. You don't have to fertilize it, and I haven't fertilized it in the past couple years, but this year I'm really trying to put more effort into the garden. As you can see by the mulch, past couple years I've been one of those people who's like, I don't have time to mulch, it's fine. And then by July I'm overtaken by weeds. So here is my little brick patio area where I'm going to get a bistro set so I can take my pretty Instagram photos. But I planted out some of the white snapdragons and the, what are they? The raspberry ripple. Nope, I want to say those are the carnation. The cherry twist. It's either cherry twist or raspberry ripple. I get the carnations and the snapdragons confused, but they're both from Baker Creek. And then in the middle, I put some of the alyssum. And as you can see, I put down cardboard and then I put mulch around. I'm trying to keep the alyssum from getting covered with the mulch just until it gets a little bigger. But the snapdragons will grow up taller and the alyssum will cover down here, down on the mulch to keep the moisture and the shade for those. Over here is our bok choy, and again, you can see the birds snacked on those too. They got that one right there. They've eaten some of that one. I really try to remember to put the cloth back over them every night, but I do like to take it off just so they get some direct sunshine. Last year, about this time, we had asparagus. I know this has been transplanted, so I'm trying to be a little lenient with it, but oh, I am so excited and nervous. I hope that I start seeing some here shortly. I check it every day. A couple videos back, I did fertilize it, and then we've got our bed over here, and like I said, that's where I'm using some of these covers. I'm using the other one out front at the front of the house, but I did put cardboard and mulch in our walkways underneath our cattle panel trellises. So we're gonna head back in the greenhouse and get to potting stuff up. Like I said, I have all of my paste tomatoes to pot up. I've got a bunch of these nasturtiums that are growing like crazy. These are the black velvet nasturtiums. I'm super excited about these. These were from Botanical Interest. I actually just saw the seed packet. Oh, they're so pretty. I usually grow the Alaskan ones, and the Alaskan ones are also beautiful, but they're like yellow and orange. Again, very pretty, but I'm excited to see a different color of nasturtium this year. All of these dahlias from seed look incredible. Look at those. We've got a couple that are starting to get their second sets of leaves. We've got our marigolds here, and these are the tomatoes that I'm going to be potting up today. I like to wait until they get their second set of leaves to pot them up. And as you can see, there's about 2 or 3 per cell, so I'm going to try and separate some of those if I can. That tray is, I think, all paste tomatoes. Yes, mostly paste tomatoes. I've got a couple herbs in there. Again, the basils, they're just not growing. I do have that one purple basil. I may pot that up just so I can empty out the 6-packs. Another thing I'm potting up today is these petunias. And the thing about petunias is you want to start them in smaller cells just because the seeds are so tiny, but they really thrive and get exponentially larger quicker once you pot them up bigger. And you can see the roots are growing right out the bottom. So that's when you know they're good to go. Ideally, you want the roots to kind of hold all of the soil together. You want those roots to be nice and tight and strong and big. You don't want them to be compact, but you want them to hold together really well when you transplant them. Oh, another one. The raspberry ripple carnations that I started over here. All those got to get potted up today. I am so sorry. When I make these videos, especially in the garden and in the greenhouse, like I say every video, spring is so busy and there's so much to get done. And I try and cram as much as I can into each video, because if I don't, the amount that I get done when I'm not recording just seems leaps and bounds compared to the previous video. And I don't want you guys to think that things are happening that I'm not showing you and that I'm doing an incredible amount. I'm just doing so much of little things throughout the day and throughout the garden and in the greenhouse. Let's get to potting stuff up. So I just started by getting a bunch of pots prepped and ready, and then I'm going to bring my paste tomatoes over there and start getting these potted up. All right, so I had just enough pots. I actually had to fill up a couple more to do my Roma tomatoes. And now I have to separate my Jersey Devil tomatoes. I'm going to show you guys how I separate them. You can very well pot up 2 of these tomatoes into a larger pot and they will separate fine. Tomatoes have a very strong root system, so they have no problem being separated, whether they're small or whether they're large. I prefer to do it when they're smaller, just so that way there's not so many roots intertwined together, because then it can be a little more difficult to separate them. And I don't have any pots, but I'm just going to show you real quick the easiest way to separate them. I have not watered these in 2 days. I let them dry right out, basically just before they're about to wilt. And you can see all of those beautiful roots, even on these small little tomatoes. So what I do is I just gently start loosening the soil around the roots. And I'm just putting this soil into a tray. I'm not like wasting it or dumping it on the ground in the greenhouse, because I can use it again. Give them a good shake. And then if your tomatoes do not separate easily, like these ones are not pulling apart, I just wiggle them. And there you have your 2 tomatoes. So I'm going to pot these up real quick and then I will get back to potting up the rest of these Jersey Devil tomatoes. Once I've got these all potted up, I let them dry out so much that I'm going to soak them right down. I am also going to fertilize them. So let me show you a couple of my favorite fertilizers. I have one from Earth Science that is a liquid fertilizer, and that is a more nitrogen based, so that's going to give you lots of greens. And then I have another one that is very multi-purpose, all-purpose, and that is a granulated fertilizer, and that you can either soak in the water or you can put it right on top and use that. So this is the Earth Science one. It's called Utter Magic. I love this one. I use this on everything. I use it on my houseplants. I use it out in the greenhouse. I usually put this on my tomatoes or anything in the greenhouse that I'm going to plant outside before I plant it outside, like a day or two before. And then I take the plants out and plant them in the greenhouse. This is the one that I am currently using just because I found a bunch of these bags on sale for like $3 at Walmart back in the winter. So I picked these up. They are 926. And then I have one that I picked up a little while ago, probably 2 years ago. This is vegetable and tomato food, and this is 356. I find that this one is better when the tomatoes are larger, so the plants are bigger, they've got flowers on them, and they're starting to fruit. That's when I'll use this one. All right, so we got all the paste tomatoes potted up, or I should say my first round of paste tomatoes potted up. I do have a second round, but I want to say that's only like 4 to 6 packs. So I've got my Roma Supremos, and then I've got my Jersey Devils over here. I'm going to get these watered and fertilized. I also potted up this one purple basil that germinated. I'm going to dump this soil and use this seed starting mix again and let these other couple 6 packs wait and hopefully more germinate. Hey guys, so we are back in the greenhouse. It's the day after I've potted up all of my paste tomatoes, and yesterday I did get to go to my local greenhouse. However, they didn't have everything out, things like tomatoes, peppers, stuff like that. They did have out their cold weather stuff, and unfortunately my phone was dead at the end of the day, so I did not get to record, but I will show you everything that I got and how amazing everything looks. So I got a bunch of cabbage, I got my red cabbage, I got a couple things of cauliflower, I got Thai basil, catnip, and strawberries. Last year my strawberry bed got taken over by weeds while I was pregnant, and unfortunately I didn't get to it until it was too late, until about November, to clean it up. And I don't know as any of my strawberries are going to come back, so I'm going to plant these and hope for the best. And I do think I'm going to admit defeat on my cabbages and cauliflower that I have already planted out. So same with my first batch of onions. I do think that those couple of nights, those 3 nights where we had 16 and 18 degree temperatures in the greenhouse, they got too cold. They have been stunted. They're just not growing fast enough and healthy enough and strong enough that they will be ready in time to harvest or to produce anything before it gets super hot here in North Carolina. And because they are a cold weather crop, I again am going to admit defeat. I did move stuff out here too early, and I was too stubborn about not paying to heat the greenhouse due to the cost of electricity currently. So I just purchased these ones from our local greenhouse to support a local family and a small business. So when I say I'm admitting defeat, I mean that I am admitting that I made mistakes that cost me my own seedlings by bringing them out into the greenhouse, by being stubborn and not paying for electricity. I do not mean that I am admitting defeat and that there is anything wrong with purchasing locally by supporting small local farms and businesses and purchasing your starts, because you are still growing food for your family. Again, you're supporting your local community. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can purchase from Facebook Marketplace, if you can find local greenhouses, those are all great options. Even Craigslist, people will post their seedlings on Craigslist if they have too many. Those are all great options that help support your own community, and those farmers are going to be very grateful that you are doing that. All right, so let me show you what I got. Like I said, I did 6 strawberries And I like everbearing strawberries. They produce throughout the whole year. We usually get them anywhere from March, April-ish, all the way until November or October, our first frost date. These are Ozark Beauty. Again, they are everbearing. If you get June-bearing strawberries, they produce a large bunch of berries, usually once or twice throughout the season, and that's it. However, the berries are usually a lot larger than everbearing strawberries. So I got 3 of the Ozark Beauties, and then I got 3 of these ones, and that's what I got for strawberries. I did purchase one 4-pack of snowball cabbage. Again, it's a 4-pack, but there are 2 in one of these cells that I'll separate. I got 3 of the stonehead cabbages. Again, they are 4-packs, but there's usually at least 5 or 6 in each, and I will separate those out when I plant them. Like I said in another video, I do not grow red cabbage. I've never purchased red cabbage seeds. I always get my red cabbage from this greenhouse. Again, I like to support locally. This is red ace cabbage, just so you guys can see the tag. There is more than 4 in here, but they sell them 4-packs, and the 4-packs are significantly cheaper than buying from big box stores, and they look so much healthier. So each 4-pack from my local greenhouse was like $1.59. So I got 2 of these. I purchased some catnip for our little furry friend that I put in the video earlier. And then last but not least, I got a 4-pack of Thai basil. It already looks amazing. So if you saw earlier in the video, I did not have very good luck with one of the companies that I planted most of my herbs from. And I planted Italian basil, purple basil, and Thai basil. The only thing that germinated was this one thing of purple basil that I potted up the other day. So I've got that. The local greenhouse will be getting tomatoes, peppers, more herbs, things like that. However, they did not have Italian basil, which is what I was looking for. So I'll go back later and get those. I can't remember if I already did a clip of the second round of onions that are popping up. So I'm going to show you guys those really quick because they're already growing like crazy. And that'll probably be it for the video. So these are the second round of onions. The ones in the pink trays are the first round that I cleaned up. They look like they're growing back just fine. But these ones are doing great. So I have very high hopes for our onions, even if things are slow going. It's been a lot colder this year. We got poppies, calendula, alyssum, a lot of greens. The greens are doing really well. I also noticed this morning that we've got a bunch of new petunias popping up. Some celery, these dahlias from seed. I can't say it enough. I'm so impressed with these. I cannot wait to see how those grow. We've got marigolds over here. All right, guys, so I don't want this video to be too long, and I feel like I've already shown you a lot of this stuff. I feel like it just grows every day, and I'm so excited to share with you how it's growing. Like I always say, I will take you along as it continues to grow, how I care for it, when I plant it, all the things, and I hope you have a wonderful growing season. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next video.